The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
This is a trial run. Raider Nation, ahoy, what's going on? This is your captain speaking. I'm joined on the ship today with probably one of the best Raiders captains I've ever known. Guy's my best friend. He was in my wedding. He was a brother to me. He is not a friend. He's not an associate. He is none of that. He is my brother. The same blood courses through both of our veins. That's exactly how I feel. Nash, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, Captain Robinson? Definitely brothers for life. Raider Nation in the house. Looking for another W. What we got going, man? What you think we're going to do tomorrow? I already know what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to ball out.
So, Nash, we're going into week 7. Derek Carr's having an amazing year. I know, like, we've had our differences about Derek Carr. Me and you have gone back and forth for years about, you know, who was the problem? Was it him? Was it the defense? Was it the weapons? Was it the coaching? But now it appears he has some pretty good weapons. The outside, I think we've officially become a passing football team. What do you see going into this matchup against the Eagles this Sunday?
Well, just thinking about the matchups, thinking about the defense of the Eagles, so far what I've seen from the Eagles this year has been very underwhelming. But you can't take anything for granted. You got to come in like every team is a contender. So for the Raiders, once again, shout out to Derek Carr. He balling out this year. Hopefully the consistency stays there for the rest of the year. And you know, kind of he's been doing a good job of just kind of keeping down on the mistakes, keeping down on the turnovers, which we definitely appreciate that. But he just has to find his targets. He got to not hone in on just one individual like he kind of tends to do, either with this Derek Waller or Henry Ruggs or Hunter Renfrow, but just spread the ball around, spread the love. Mm-hmm. So just not being checked down, Charlie, either. But we loving the airing it out for the last couple weeks. That's the right away. We definitely like to go the way. So when we got the weapons,
and see, that's the one of the things that I want to ask you about specifically, because for the people out there who don't know you, who will now officially start to know you, he is like I call my brother the only lockdown corner I know. You know, that's what he did. He is a lifelong corner and defensive back, so he's really critical of defensive backfields, of cornerbacks, of safeties, of defensive schemes. And I'm telling y'all, this isn't just a guy who watches football. His football knowledge is wild. And trust me, we're gonna get into it. So as far as our defensive backs, we're adding Desmond Trufant, with Mullen hopefully coming back after the bye week. We'll have Mullen, Hobbs, Trufant, Hayward, Merrick, Abrams. That's what do you see with our defensive backfield that's really stepped up?
Wait, I'm gonna just be real with you, man. We're gonna leave Arnett out of the conversation. As for right now, we're just gonna leave him on the sideline like he needs to stay on the sideline for a while. No disrespect to him, but he just gotta learn the game a little bit more and get a little bit better. Probably watch some more film or something like that. Learn how to tackle a little bit better. But for the rest of the people, the defensive back that's on the field, man, from what I've seen this year, I've been extremely impressed with the consistency, with the playmaking ability, and we all love ball hawks. I know I was a ball hawk when I played ball, so I have a special love for anybody who knows how to locate the ball and look for a turnover anytime you can get a turnover. So with people like Mullen, and I hate that he's out for the next couple of weeks, but when he comes back, we're going to be solid. Great addition with Casey Hayward Jr. He's awesome. I already knew he was awesome, though, just from college, you know, the Packers, the Chargers, and now he's a Raider. So he's actually they have him as one of the top-rated defenders this year in the NFL. So I'm glad he's representing the silver and black. Also, definitely glad he represented silver and black because the Chargers stuff was killing me. But who else do you have? Oh, Trayvon Merrick. The rookie is showing up, man. He's showing up and showing out. He should have been the first round like we are. Let me talk about Leatherwood. I ain't gonna talk about Leatherwood, but
And you know what's bad? I'm gonna tell you how you know a player on your team is. Hey, you. And I'm gonna tell you how you know a player on your team is either A, so bad, or a new player is so good. Sometimes I have like an honest, like I honestly just drew a blank for a second before I actually made this comment. And then right there, as I was going to make it again, as to who even he replaced, I forgot all about Eric Harris. You know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot all about him. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've always been a fan of taller defensive backs, receivers in the league. The better ones are taller, longer. I've always been a fan of better defensive back. But these dudes are not just fast; they're not just long and tall, but they're fast too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, yeah, our defensive backfield is amazing. So I'm gonna tell you something I was talking about on my previous show. I was like, people, don't get me wrong. I know Mad Max, who is a Raider to his heart. He has a Raiders tattoo.
Man, dude, don't that make you feel a certain way when you see that?
You know what I'm saying? It makes you feel like
Josh Jacobs got one too, but his might be a little
that's something else. And so I'm looking at the sacks that he's got. I think he's got 5 on the year. He had like 2 last game. He had like 3 the first game. You know what I'm saying? So he's really showing back up. But I was looking at some film, and I was showing, like, because you've really taught me not just to watch film, but you taught me how to watch film. You know what I'm saying? Like what to like, how to rewind certain plays and what to look for in certain matchups and everything. And I was noticing how even though Yannick doesn't get the sack count, they're really double teaming him.
So that's the thing that a lot of football fans don't realize is when you see one player making a play, look at his teammates, look at the help that he's receiving. So it's not just that one player just wrecking the field. That's not the case. It was the same thing with Von Miller, with Khalil. Look at the guys, the defensive tackles, the other defensive linemen that are actually assisting the play. So some people might be getting double teamed. Some people might be getting triple teamed. Like you don't know. It's all about the quarterback pressures.
Yeah, that's true.
I started to take that into consideration until I just like really start paying attention to those guys down there. I know when I was playing, it was a completely different ball game because we, as defensive backs, you got a whole different situation that you got to deal with. So you're not even focused on what's going on in the D line. We depend on those guys though, because when they make plays, they make our work a whole lot easier. So it's kind of like when you see Max Crosby, when you see Yannick Ngakoue, before you give them praise, you got to give that inside praise. You got to give the Jefferson praise. You got to give Hankins praise. What's our young guy that we got? Phylon.
Phylon?
Praise. Solomon Thomas.
Yeah, Solomon Thomas.
They working down there. So when they get into
the he's second in the team in sacks, right?
Yeah. So when they're basically just running into that offensive line, just making them trip over each other or running them into the quarterback, it's making Max Crosby's job a whole lot easier. So all he have to do is just do his little swim move, do his spin move, come in low, fast, and get right to the quarterback. Now, the issue that a lot of people have is actually sacking the quarterback. Max Crosby's been blessed with some really long arms. So he might not be the buff freakish long arms, but he has some athletic ability that should not be overlooked.
That's real. So speaking of that, I guess that leads into it, because I know you are a studier, you're a student of the game, so you study offenses as well. That leeway, I guess, talking about Yannick, talking about Mad Max, talking about Jefferson and Thomas, and all those guys who've really, come together, because I don't think really any of these guys was on our team last year. Well, for the bulk of them, but the bulk of them weren't even on the team last year. So I guess that shows really where Gus Bradley is and what he's trying to do with the team. But the segue is, how do you think we're going to fare against the Eagles offensive line? Like, keep in mind, another Eagles are 2-4. They're in the NFC least, as I like to call it, with the Cowboys the only team of substance in that division right now. What do you see our defensive line and our defensive front and our defensive backs, for that matter, going against Jalen Hurts and his rookie coach, who doesn't seem to know what he's really doing with the offense, who's having problems getting his running back going. Because I think Jalen Hurts has like 300 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground already. It's the quarterback, which we've dealt with something similar like that in week 1 with Lamar Jackson. So what do you see with how our defense has now stepped up with a different demeanor on the sidelines? Because everyone on the team has said that the sideline is different. Like the energy on the sideline is a lot different, with John Gruden gone. So what do you see our defense doing against that offense this Sunday?
Well, hopefully, and I'm just going ahead and put it to Gus Bradley that he knows what he's doing. We've seen it throughout the first few games of the year. So he knows how to prepare for those teams ahead. We're going to completely exclude the Bears game because nobody on the team kind of adjusted to what was going on, within the organization. But we moved past that. We gave Denver their job last week. They needed that. So I think everybody's back to business. And Gus Bradley, he knows exactly what to do, what to tell the defense, exactly how to prepare for the team. So I think they're going to take a very similar approach to what they did with the Ravens, and just going to go with, okay, we know Jalen Hurts. We're going to study his game. We're going to study what he likes to do. Does he check the ball down? Does he go to the Heisman Trophy winner 9 times out of 10 in clutch moments? We'll see. So fortunately for us, they don't have a lot of weapons. They do have a very skilled running back.
Yeah, they do. They don't use him.
Skilled. See that, and that's the thing. They might use him against us. Usually, people like just the most unknown players come out against us for some reason. I've noticed that.
That's true.
Over the years. They make their mark. So I don't want to just discount anybody. I think if they kind of control the scrambling of the quarterback, kind of get in his head, hit him, definitely hit him. That's what I say about any quarterback. You got to hit him hard. You got to hit him early so they know you're there. Get him out the game plan. So as long as he's not comfortable, I think we're going to have a good day.
I can dig it. Now, I guess one of the last things we'll touch on is, so I was looking at the injury report for both teams. There's no noticeable injuries for the Raiders. It looked like we'll be pretty much at full power. I know Quentin Jefferson, they said he had a personal takeaway from the team this week, so he didn't practice this week. I think it was a personal issue. So I think the Eagles, however, their main I think they have a linebacker, right? I forget his name, but their starting safety is out this week. And so with Carr not being captain checkdown this year, with him averaging a lot of air yards, with him actually having 2 of the top 3 receivers as far as averaging receiving yards, with I think Ruggs having 22.3 and Brian Edwards having like 22.9 or something like 20.9 or something like that. So Carr is not checking the ball down. Since he's going down the field, they'll have a safety in who hadn't played many starting snaps this year. Because their starting safety has pretty much played the entire season. He started every game this season. What do you see us doing? I mean, do you see any key matchups? Do you see anything we should possibly attack? And finally, I want you to give me your score prediction.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. So hopefully our game plan is a whole lot different now that Gruden's not at the helm. Because we all felt as fans that, I think that he kind of hindered our performance in a lot of games when it came down to being extremely conservative, making questionable calls, especially on 4th and short. Still trying to use a fullback, still trying to go to a running game that's kind of pretty much anemic at this point, dealing with our offensive line issues and dealing with a banged up running back. So I don't want us to be one-dimensional by any means, but I do want us to make sure that we get the right matchups. Meaning bring in Jalen Richard. Jalen Richard was a good pass-catching running back. He's also good between the lines. So kind of switching him and Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake up and using them to the best of their abilities, using them where their skill set can be used the best. As far as the wideouts, I'm gonna call Darren Waller a wideout as well too. He's a big wideout.
Got to. He's like the hybrid unicorn. That's like all of.
So as far as the wideouts, I think we should be a lot more creative. We wanted to use Foster Moreau as well. That's an actual tight end right there. We should be using him in our game as well. I know I did read an article earlier this week about how Greg Olsen that Derek Carrier is out for the rest of the season. Since he's out, we can't use those 3 tight end sets that we were, prone to using. But we do have, I want to say the rookie Bushman. They might slip him in there. I think he's a traditional tight end as well. So I think they might slip him in for a couple plays, just to see how he works, see how he looks. But the most of it, we just need to target our opportunities. The coolest thing about the Raiders offense in general is nobody knows what we're actually going to do every week. You have some teams that you have like, oh my gosh, they're going to go to Julio Jones or they're going to go to Devontae Adams. You know it. They better. Because they're that good. Right. But for us, we don't have that one key person, even though they would like to say Darren Waller is. You can't do that. You would go to Henry Ruggs. You would go to Hunter Renfrow. You would go to – I would like to see them bring Zay Jones in a little bit more because he contributes. He has a speed. He has hands. So just being a lot more creative. So I think as long as we can open the field, spread them out, expose the weaknesses on the defense, I think we can score a lot of points.
Right.
And game prediction, just because the Raiders just love to keep this shit close.
We at home, baby. We at home.
They love to keep things close. And we're at home. My prediction is going to be, I'm going to go ahead on the limb and say 27 Raiders, 24 Eagles.
I can dig. I guess I was looking at, like I said, I like how Carr likes to go deep. I think they're going to test their safety. I think they're going to test him early. I think they're going to test him very often. I think since Josh Jacobs has reemerged is, having his best game of the season, even though it's 53 yards. I noticed the only touchdowns we got last week were all Alabama touchdowns. So I'm thinking that what they're going to do is hammer the run game, soften them up for some play action, and then just start taking the top off the defense. I think they're going to do it early and often. I don't know why. I think for some reason this is going to be a special team. I think it's going to be a special season. I know we don't usually like the scoreboard up like this. Well, we're good for about 30 points a game. I say we get on top of them early and we don't relent. I'm going 35-17 Raiders at home to go into the bye week and get ready for New York. And then we got the Chiefs coming up after that. So that's what I'm hoping, you know what I'm saying? So we both got the Raiders winning, of course. So, yeah, man, this was a really exciting conversation. I'm glad we got a chance to do this. We're going to do this pretty much every week. If you got the chance, I want to be able to do like predictions and reviews. I want to pick your brain for that football knowledge because I think the world and more importantly, Raiders fans deserve to hear what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not just an armchair, guy who's played a ton of Madden and shouts at the TV while he eating his nachos. Like you actually been out there doing it, with aspirations of going to the league. So, like I said, brother, I love you, dude. This is going to be fun. I'm glad you came on the show. Yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to it.
Got you, man. Absolutely. Same to you, bro. Much love. Said looking forward to sharing some knowledge. And definitely Raider wins every week. Definitely,
bro. Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate y'all for looking, man. We want y'all to tune in to every show. We're going to start having some fun, more guests. Hopefully some famous people. Like I said, I actually want to talk to Amy Trask on Twitter. And she's a very personal person. So, hey, you never know. But, hey, this is the Raider Nation Jackson podcast. We might have to change the name now to, I don't know, 2 captains on the ship. I don't know. We're going to change it to something, man. But Nash, bro, I appreciate you. I love you. And thank y'all for watching.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.